to be joined right now by Sheriff Scott Israel from Broward Sheriff's Office. Sheriff, thank you for your time on this chaotic day.
Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me well?
We can. Sheriff, you have Lori Jennings, Calvin Cruz, and Michael Putney right here. Sheriff, we were with you for your entire press conference, but please bring us up to date now. Can you identify any of the victims for us? Can you at least tell us if they're from South Florida?
Here's where we're at. We had 13 people shot in Terminal 2 just before 1 o'clock. 8 of the victims are being treated at area hospitals. I don't know the extent of their injuries. 5 people have succumbed to their wounds and have died based on this horrific attack. We have the shooter in custody. We believe at this time it was one person. We have no reason to believe that it was any type of conspiracy. Being interviewed by Broward Sheriff's detectives and the FBI together. We're not releasing any information on any of the victims until we could positively identify them and notify the next of kin in a dignified, professional manner. I'm not sure if you have any questions for me.
But Sheriff, are you allowed to tell us, can you tell us yet if any of those victims are from our community?
I really don't know.
You know, so many people are panicked at home right now, and especially people who maybe their cell phones just aren't charged enough, and there's just no communication. I know I'm lucky to be able to communicate with my husband, who's stuck on a Southwest flight right now. But for people who can't,
I understand that, and I feel for that anguish and what happens. But we want to positively identify the victims. We want to make sure the next of kin is notified. By our detectives in a discreet, compassionate manner, not by TV. So we're going to handle it just this way. We understand that information is needed, for the media. We want to get it out as quick as possible, but we want to make sure we keep Broward County safe. And right now, most of our assets and resources are clearing the airport. We have no reason to believe there are any other threats, but we're leaving no stone unturned. And we're going to clear the entire airport and make sure it's safe for citizens and residents to come back and forth and to reopen the airport.
Sheriff Israel, it's Michael Putney. We're very glad that you're joining us. Sheriff, I know that the BSO, is really staffed up at Fort Lauderdale-Hollywood Airport. There is a very large police presence all the time. How long was it between the shooting and the capture of Esteban Santiago? It sounds like it didn't take long.
Yeah, Michael, that's a great question. I was told it was approximately 30 to 40 seconds when our deputies heard the gunshots and they turned. They encountered the suspect. The suspect dropped his weapon. The suspect was taken into custody without incident. There were no shots fired by Broward Sheriff's deputies, and the subject is at an undisclosed place at the airport right now being interviewed by the Broward Sheriff's Office and the FBI.
All right, you may not be able to tell us, but in that moment when he gave up, did he say anything to your deputies?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And is there any feeling, Sheriff Israel, that this might be an act of terror or it could be something else?
At this point, Michael, it should really be anything. Right now, if I had to give a hypothesis, I would say, based on the knowledge I have at this time, it would be a homegrown violent extremist. And I believe that once we sift through some of the information that our detectives are looking at right now, that the FBI will be taking the lead on this investigation, and we'll be assisting the FBI in the investigation and the aftermath.
So, Sheriff, what does that mean? Homegrown violent extremists. What does that mean?
Well, I'm not talking about the suspect in this case because that's what we think he is. We're not sure. But when we use in law enforcement the term homegrown violent extremist, we're putting at a term of a person who we have no reason to believe has been part of Al-Qaeda or been associated with ISIS or any terrorist groups, but they may follow them on media, social media. They may be sympathizers of this group. They may want to be part of the group, and they may want to do something violent to bring attention to the group.
And Sheriff, you described within 30 to 40 seconds this gunman shooting at least 13 people. Can you tell us what kind of weapon he had?
I can't tell you that at this time, Lori. We're not releasing that information.
So you have no reason to believe at this point that that the suspect now in custody was a part of some sort of organized terrorist group such as ISIS?
That's exactly correct. We have no reason at this time. We have no information at this time to be able to substantiate that. Correct, Hal?
But he may have followed them online. You don't know if this was
right.
in any way in relation
and that's really the focus of the investigation right now.
And that's why the FBI is going to be taking over this investigation. So it is possibly terrorism related. Is that fair to say?
Exactly. And we're as we speak, the detectives and the federal agents are interviewing.
So a possible terrorist act from a person who was not in the group ISIS, was not a member of the group ISIS, but may have followed them online and may have been, in fact, influenced by their teachings. Is that fair to say, to report?
That's very fair to say. Very fair to say.
Sheriff Israel, we are very grateful for you joining us. We know it's a chaotic and intense afternoon. If I may, I want to invite you to come Sunday morning and appear on This Week in South Florida and to speak by that time, 11:30 on Sunday. You will know a lot more. We'd love to have you come in.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for the gracious offer, and it's time for Broward County to pray for the victims once they're identified and their families.
All right.
And Sheriff, we did see some prayers going on in the terminal, and that was a beautiful sight, because that's about all people can do right now is really pray for those victims. And in that vein, Sheriff, we've heard that Terminal 1 is safe. Can you verify that?
Terminal 1 is safe. There was a very minor incident, absolutely not associated. Thanks for bringing that up. Not associated with Terminal 2. It's been handled. It's gone. There have been no other identified threats anywhere on the airport but at Terminal 2. And if you could, when you speak to the public or please let the public know that please keep the 911 lines as open as they can. We're getting hammered. And if they have an emergency somewhere else in Broward County, certainly call 911. But we have the airport on lockdown, and we don't really need any 911 calls about the airport.
And Sheriff Israel, if I could ask you about more of a police and tactical move here, why are we seeing people walk down the street with their hands up? And we have seen this happening for the last hour or two as people have been on the tarmac and have been coming out of the terminals. Why is that necessary?
It's so loud. Can you try that one more time?
I said, why are we seeing people walking out of the terminals and out of the parking garages with their hands up?
Well, we have the Broward Sheriff SWAT team and various local SWAT teams helping us out, and we're clearing the airport. We don't know, what's a threat and what's not a threat. So I just want to. I'm sure that they want to make things safe for themselves and certainly safe for any, citizens. So I'm sure they're clearing the area in a safe manner. They want to see people's hands. And then once they get people to safety, I'm sure they'll talk to them and allow the people to go their own way tactically. But you certainly, when you clear any area, you want to see people's hands.
And Sheriff, we were just looking live as some people with luggage were just literally walking their way all the way to US 1 around the Griffin Road area, and then they'll be searched there. We're looking at that live picture on the left. We see a family walking out. Is that about the only way you're going to get out of the airport at this point?
Lori, I really don't know. All I can tell you is the airport director, correctly closed the airport. We've closed all the roads, and until I get clarification from our SWAT teams that the airport is safe and the airport is clear, my main concern, obviously I don't want to see people, not being able to get ingress to where they need to go. But that's not even on my top 10 list of concerns right now. I want the Broward County safe. And when people can come here and I'm not worried about any active shooters or any safety issues, that's when we'll open the airport.
And we are waiting to hear from you that those other terminals are safe and you can reopen the airport. And Sheriff Israel, as soon as you get more information about the victims, please do share it with us. 5 people dead.
Yep. Thanks for having me on. Take care.
All right.